Today on XYZ with Erik Zachary, the Oscars 97th annual are not getting canceled despite some reports. However, Red Dye number 3 is in the United States.
Good.
It's getting a ban in 2+ years, where TikTok, they said, nope, Sunday.
Yeah, and they don't even have Red Dye in TikTok.
Dry January is upon us. My mom of Mom's Hot Take provides her perspective on Dry January. I'll give you a hint. She doesn't get it.
She thinks it's silly.
And Haley Williams, the lead singer of Paramore, her grandfather apparently is a singer. He recorded songs 50 years ago almost.
Yeah.
And they never went anywhere. So she helped him produce a new album that's now coming out.
That is dope.
Very, very cool. All of that and more on XYZ with Erik Zachary. Let's get into it. Halfway through the work week, your hump day show starts right
now.
I said now.
I said now. I beat you to it.
The ever-changing news surrounding TikTok, the impending ban, which is supposed to happen on Sunday,
that's right,
is wild. Now the government apparently made a certain allowance for public diplomacy, meaning that certain public officials can continue to use TikTok for benefiting the U.S. in other countries. So propaganda.
Okay, I only want to see that if they are talking about policies and propaganda, but Joe Biden is doing the dances as well.
He's doing the woes.
Exactly. Yeah, I want all the TikTok dances still in.
So they're pulling the parent, you can't use it, but I can. But then ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, has now, this is developing in real time right now, is saying, hey, although the ban would only require it to be removed from the App Store, like if it's already on your phone, you can continue to use it for now, basically.
Okay.
ByteDance is saying, no, we'll just shut it down completely.
Oh, so
you want to play this game, we'll just completely shut it down. It doesn't matter if you have a VPN. It doesn't matter if you have it's already on your phone. It just goes away on Sunday.
TikTok, the final season.
The final days.
Wow, Netflix gets rid of shows all the time. I want to see this go away.
It's XYZ with Erik Zachary. Obviously, this news is changing in real time. We'll see what happens. XYZ with Erik Zachary. It's your XYZ ENT Entertainment Report, all brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people. Some updates regarding the upcoming 97th Academy Awards. There was a false report from The Sun, shocking, that they were going to cancel the awards completely for the first time ever. Like, to be clear, they didn't even cancel during COVID.
Right.
But that turned out to be false. Basically, the Hollywood Reporter now saying they've talked to the Academy, and the Academy said that although they pushed the nomination ceremony and donated the money that they usually raise there, $250,000 to wildlife relief efforts, seems low. 250, not 250 million, 250,000.
$250,000.
That's like one gaffer on a film.
Yeah, you could put it that way.
But they have no plans to push the ceremony as of now, which is scheduled for the beginning of March. It's worth noting that the primary residence, so the second home, is fine, but the primary residents of 4 of the 55 Academy members who make up the Hollywood Academy lost their homes to the wildfires, but the rest seem to be okay right now. No plans to postpone or cancel the 97th Oscars, scheduled for March 2nd. March 2nd.
You could.
That seems so
cancel.
far. Like,
you could cancel. Take a day off. It's fine. There's a lot going on there.
Or just move it to a different city, in California or Vegas.
You know,
they moved the Grammys to Vegas during COVID, I think. I remember
right. Yeah. It's not that big a deal.
Red dye number 3. This has been a controversial topic over the last few years after many studies revealed it could lead to cancer.
That's right.
It's a carcinogen, I think, by definition.
Yeah.
But they use it to, color foods and drinks and whatnot.
Yep.
Anything that needs to be red has been it's been a favorite of manufacturers here in the U.S. Now, many other countries have already banned it.
Yes.
And it's worth noting, like, an example of, like, General Mills uses it for certain
cereals.
And whatnot. But they have a Canadian version that doesn't use it. And they have a European version that doesn't use it. The FDA has finally officially banned it. However, the ban does not go into place until January 15th of 2027, 2 years.
So wait, have they made enough, I don't know, let's say Fruit Loops until 2027 that the ban doesn't go in there?
They're saying you have up until 2027 to reformulate basically what you're making.
Okay.
And then if it's used in drugs like Tylenol that is red or something, for example. I don't know that Tylenol is using that, but just, for example. Yeah, they have until 2028. So
this is a slow ban.
It's a slow ban, and also you're banning it for the medical benefit. Shouldn't the drugs have to be reformulated first as opposed to the food?
They banned TikTok way quicker than this.
Finally, some performance art I can get behind.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just like, like Yoko Ono just screaming at a...
That's so specific.
But that was like, that's
old.
what I think of when I think of performance art. No, the upcoming season 2 Severance debut on Apple TV.
That's right.
It's Ben Stiller directed and executive produced. They took over Grand Central Station in New York City. They set up a cubicle in a giant glass box that looks like the Lumen offices, if you know the show.
Right.
And they had just like general actors playing the part of Lumen employees. And then Rush Hour hit, and Adam Scott and Britt Lowry and a bunch of the other actual actors just
dope.
walked into this cubicle and started performing basically a scene from Severance and ignoring the giant crowd surrounding them.
Right.
Very cool.
Guerrilla marketing at its best right there.
Severance Season 2 kicks off on Friday. Speaking of things that we've been into, binging, watching, what are you watching Wednesday? It's coming up next. What are you watching Wednesday? All brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people, what we've been into, binging, watching, enjoying on all these various streaming services that essentially are just the new version of cable.
That's right.
So we're trying to like not only help you get off the scroll screen of what to watch, but also like pick and choose what streaming provider you want for the month. Because
okay, and I'm glad you said that, because I think we should get in the habit of just soft launching.
There it is, buddy.
Couldn't even say
Talk for a living.
Yeah, right?
Uh-huh.
Soft launching relationships with your streaming services. Maybe I just want Apple TV for the month.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. But anyway, what we've been watching this month. Jordan, speaking of Apple TV, I'll let you start because we were just talking about Severance Season 2 that kicks off Friday.
Yep.
I think that's a great service to have right now.
Yes, it is.
But you recently have been watching
Dark Matter. It came out last year.
Yes.
Oh, it is easily one of my favorite shows. The TLDR on it is what would happen if you had access to the multiverse on your own life.
Yeah.
So all the decisions you have made, if you went and changed one thing, what would your life look like, and how does that, look in reality?
Yeah, it's cool for me because I'm originally from Chicago, so it's a Chicago-based show.
That's right.
But yeah, it's exactly what you said. But it kind of toys with, and not just like every little decision, although you could go that far, that heady with it. It's more like I broke up with this person, and I've always kind of thought about them, what my life would be like if that didn't happen.
Didn't break up.
And it explores the idea of that version of you existing in a different multiverse and then being able to jump between those realities is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was a very late starter to the show too. I watched like the first 5 minutes and I kind of gave up on it.
Okay.
Came back to it 2 months later. Very much on board with it. Can't recommend it enough. Again, that is on Apple TV. Dark Matter.
Yes.
I watched the Jerry Springer documentary.
Now, you told me about this earlier, and I'm intrigued.
It's very good. I just feel like coming off of like the headiness and psychological thriller that is Dark Matter.
This could be silly.
I want to be clear. I wasn't a fan of Jerry Springer. I didn't like the show. I thought it was just a hot mess, which it was. But like something about it just seemed kind of trashy to me.
To you?
Yeah, I said trashy, but yeah. But what's cool about the documentary is they got all of the original producers, the executive producers, and everyone to tell the story of how this show became its thing. Like, and they approach it in the documentary. It's kind of like what led to reality television. It led to the Kardashians indirectly, because there was nothing like it ever before.
Right.
And what's cool about it is that you forget Jerry Springer was a mayor of Cincinnati.
Had no idea.
Then he was like a news anchor, and then like the talk show launched as like very mild mannered.
Okay.
And then they moved him because it was too boring to these late night slots. And they're like, okay, well, if you're going to move us into a 3 a.m. light slot, we're going to treat this like it's a 3 a.m. show.
And get raunchy.
And that's when they started inviting like, porn stars on and these people that were just like having intercourse with their brother or whatever it may be.
Is the child yours or whatever?
Yeah. That's more Maury, but yeah.
Fair.
It's a great documentary, and even if you're not a fan of Jerry Springer or what was produced, it's a great story. 2-part series that's on Netflix. If you're like, I'm on Netflix already, I'm not getting Apple TV right now, that's a great option. That just came out a couple days ago. So the Jerry Springer documentary and Dark Matter on Apple TV. Today's What Are You Watching Wednesday, all brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Mom's Hot Take on XYZ with Erik Zachary. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Head to T-Mobile.com to get a great deal on an iPhone 16 Pro, which my mom does have.
I do.
Jordan and I do not. Okay, easy. She started the new year with a new phone. Speaking of new year, though, Mom, you were asking about dry January.
Unbelievable. We're talking about it once again, once a year, and I don't know why. Either drink or don't drink. Why are you trying to stop drinking for 1 month out of the year?
First of all, was that an intentional Trump impression, or is that just...
It was unintentional.
Okay.
We're talking about it again.
We're talking about it again. I don't know why it keeps coming up. You don't understand why people decide to like be healthy and not drink for like a month?
No, because these people are going to go and rage drink in February. The ones that quit in January rage drink in February.
So your concern isn't like being healthy. Like if you're going to quit, like it's fine. You
Sure.
support that. But what do you mean,
Dude,
sure?
use, I don't care. But don't stop with this silliness. Like, oh, every January or December 31st, you're going to stop drinking. We all know that you're not. You're going to go right back to it February 1st.
All right. So maybe if you're you're doing dry January, maybe Mom's Hot Take is the segment for you.
Sorry, guys. Not for you.
Oh my God.
Have you? I mean, but you've done this. Not January, but no.
Absolutely not.
You've gone weeks at a time without like drinking for health purposes before. I know that for a fact.
Really?
Wrong response.
I can't really remember. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a few days where I don't do wine. But
I don't do wine.
Don't do wine.
Like it's heroin? I don't do wine?
I honestly have never had to cut it out of my system or stop it unless it was a procedure.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, oh, you want it more. Like before that medical procedure when you can't drink, they're like, don't drink. You're like, it's there. But I don't have a problem. I really don't. It's just, I just don't understand this. This was not a thing. Resolutions like this did not exist when I was growing up.
Okay, I'm going to just take that angle for a second because I didn't know that dry January hasn't been a thing for that long. Like it's a somewhat recent phenomenon.
It's a trend, essentially.
Yeah. And
when did this start?
The last 6 or 7 years,
sure,
give or take. I'm not taking my mom's side. I just think that I think it's absurd for like it to always be January. Like if you're going to do it, then like pick a different month or do it for yourself.
Well, doesn't it coincide with like, okay, new year, I'm also working out.
Yeah. But it's just, you're going to crash harder if you go to the gym and then you stop going to the gym and then you start drinking again. Like you're just hitting the same wall.
That's another thing. Our gyms are too crowded in January because people think they're going to exercise for 2 weeks, and then those fall off, and then the gym becomes empty.
Okay, so I think the take is stop trying in January?
Yeah, I don't know what the take is. Just live your best life.
Okay, here
if you want to drink.
If you
don't,
don't.
Work out. But don't like falsify this with, I'm really going to try in January.
Okay.
Because February, you're not.
Mom's Hot Take. That's one of the spicier ones right there.
She said, give up.
It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Head to T-Mobile.com to get a great deal on iPhone 16 Pro. Hayley Williams, the front woman of the band Paramore. Such a cool story. Her grandfather is also a musician, apparently. Runs in the family. And she just recently found out that he recorded these songs for an album almost 50 years ago, but they basically never went anywhere. Like they weren't professionally recorded.
Just demos then.
Correct. And she worked with her band to get in the studio and turn this into a properly released, mixed, and mastered album. It's going to be called The Grand Man. Her grandfather, now 78 years old. That's the first single off of it. It's called Knocking at Your Door. Rusty Williams is his name, and his debut album will come out on February 14th. That is so cool. Such a cool story.
This song slaps.
And it's nasty. And all these tracks were actually recorded almost 50 years ago. It's not like he went back and redid them.
Wow.
So a really, really cool story there. The Grand Man. Hayley Williams' grandfather, Rusty Williams, his album, February 14th. XYZ. XYZ with Erik Zachary. Every week we like to search through the internet to find bad reviews, specifically comically bad reviews.
Yes.
You never know who these people are actually going to leave their comments on Amazon or Yelp or Google or wherever it may be. Sometimes they make sense. Sometimes they're very helpful.
Yep.
Sometimes they're just like, there's no way that happened to you.
Absolute chaos in the comments.
And today you have 2 bad reviews for us. It's all brought to you by State Farm. Jordan, first bad review.
The first bad review is for customer service at an auto body shop.
Yeah.
Here it is. 1 star, naturally. Absolutely disgusted with the service I received from service advisor Tracy. I came in for an oil change, and without saying a word, she kicked my 2-year-old across the room. Horrible service.
Horrible service. Wait, do you mean horrible service as like not kicking children, or also the oil change was bad too? I need to know.
Or
Did
was
she continue?
The kick bad? Bad form. Terrible form.
Terrible bad punts. Come on. So that was the first one. Yeah, I needed producer Trace to hear that one because I already knew it. So that's understandably a bad review.
Yes. Wow.
Should be 0 stars.
Exactly. If you could give 0, that probably would have been the one.
And then the second bad review, Jordan.
Second bad review is for a high school. This is obviously a kid who is still attending high school, commenting on his his own high school. Very short, very simple. How dare you tell me I need to, quote, seriously get my act together in my progress report when there has been ketchup on the ceiling for a year?
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I mean, that's the kind of kid that's like almost too smart for traditional education.
Of course, yeah.
Like those are the people that are fine in life. You hear about like these coders, these hackers that never really went to
Right.
college, and like you're like, you didn't need it. And I agree. I think there's just certain people, certain personalities, certain mindsets out there where it's like you don't need the formal education.
My thing is, this is such an easy prank for a high school. Why didn't I think of this? Go leave a review of my school on Google?
I don't think the Google reviews were like that when we were in school.
That
Like,
might be fair. Yeah.
I just now I think anyone can create a review for anything.
Sure.
Which is wild. But yeah, bad reviews today on the oil change where her 2-year-old got kicked. I still don't. I want to know what happened there.
Wild.
I would pay money for that CCTV. And then the high school kid that is upset that he got a bad progress report. So then he gave his school a progress report.
That's right.
Dumb of the day is coming up on the way. One of China's top basketball players and his girlfriend definitely. I gotta be honest. The headline got cut off. So I
Definitely, they were definitely doing homework.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. They're
like
in
a
trouble
high
for-
school basketball player.
College, but
Oh.
you'll see what happens.
All right, we'll go over that dumb of the day after I just made my own. But first, a bonus dumb, Jordan.
Yes, apparently there's a DJ saying that DJing, the art of it entirely, is a misunderstood psychology job. I just want to go on record saying,
No, it's not.
What are you talking about? Psychology is a misunderstood psychology job.
Yeah, he was basically getting at the fact that like reading a crowd and knowing what to play next is all psychology, and it's like, dude,
They're not dancing, bro. Change the song.
we get it.
We're
You're
done.
you're trying to make your mom proud.
Yeah.
Full dumb of the day coming up next. Dumb of the day on XYZ with Erik Zachary. It's all brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. The Chinese basketball player who's in college or university, as they call it, and his girlfriend caught definitely doing homework.
That's right. His name is Zhang Xingliang. He plays for the Guangzhou Long Lions. It's one of the top basketball clubs in China. So similarly to like
NCAA here. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, apparently he's been suspended
Uh-oh.
because he was caught having his girlfriend in his dorm. Now, how did they know about this? They like to post on social media a lot for no reason. Now, they claim that they were doing homework. She's been struggling in English, and he was helping her. Now, why do we know that he, quote unquote, smuggled her in a suitcase? Because when trying to explain that she was actually doing homework, she posted photos of her in his suitcase. Like, I'm telling you, this is all the stuff we did to bend over backwards so that he could help me do English. What?
There's so many layers to this.
Yes.
So, Chinese university students learning English. He was teaching her words like, oh my God, faster,
Yes.
slower,
Yes.
right there.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a layup, but basketball.
There it is. Yeah.
Dumb of the day. Yeah, we're not fooled. We know what was going on. Why did the suitcase come? That was such a left turn.
Right, like I don't know why you had to post like, okay, is there an allegation that you might have been in your boyfriend's room? Sure. Did you need to back it up with all this evidence that was just going to get you caught anyway?
She got delivered.
Yeah.
Is what found your lost baggage.
Oh my God.
Jordan, you have made it wildly apparent that you don't enjoy musicals, or
do
specifically
not.
musical movies.
Correct.
Wicked.
Yes.
Barbie even had too much singing for you.
I've seen Wicked in theaters.
You did?
Or not in theaters, like at a theater, like the play.
Oh,
I've seen the play.
I was like, you saw Wicked? I don't know.
No, I don't want to see it. I don't like people singing on the screen.
So I wanted to ask though, if you were to get cast in a musical, what musical would you be in?
I have no musical knowledge. I don't know.
I think you would excel in like Music Man.
I
It's
don't
a
know what that
classic.
is.
It's about like a troublemaker con man that moves through the cities and tries to
Do a number for us.
It's got trouble, I see. Trouble with a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool.
Is it rapping or?
It kind of has some rhythmic, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you have more modern musicals too that do have rapping, like Hamilton and
Oh yeah, Hamilton. That was long.
that. Okay, we'll find your musical home. XYZ with Erik Zachary. End of the show. Jordan.
Yes.
This weekend I'll be
Yes.
seeing where you grew up, Syracuse, New York.
Correct.
I got bamboozled. You said, do you
Okay.
want to go to Syracuse and put in some work? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, thinking like drinking at the bars and like popping around town.
Yes.
Not home improvement work.
I meant literally, do you want to put in some work on
no,
my
I
childhood
don't want to
home?
put in some work. I don't.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
I'll help
it's too
you.
late.
I first of all, nothing's too late.
You're coming.
I haven't got on the plane yet. No, your dad and you are renovating one of the houses that you grew up in. And,
That's right.
And I'm going to help paint. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. A little bit of.
I need a little more clarity of what.
Don't
this
worry,
includes.
there will be some boozing done. You will get to drink, and that whole thing is gonna
Is there
happen.
pizza?
Oh yeah, it's New York, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, but it's Syracuse. That's not like New York City.
Hey, it's anything there is better than what's in Chicago.
I can't believe that's true.
Oh yeah.
No.
Get ready.
No.
Here we go.
All right. Can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow on XYZ.